Hello, welcome back to Mrs. O'Graham's Maths. Today we are looking at solving simultaneous equations at the level that you would need for Year 13 or Level 3 NCA, and in particular looking at how to do that on a graphics calculator. So let's start with a basic set of equations, which we would call a system of equations. And this particular one is a 3x3 system of equations. We've got 3 unknowns and 3 equations in which we can solve them. Now, if you have however many unknowns you've got, you'll need at least that many equations to be able to solve them. So if we only had 2 equations with 3 unknowns, we wouldn't be able to do it. We need at least 3 equations if we're going to solve 3 unknown variables. In this case, they are x, y, and z. So let's see where to put them into the calculator. So from your main menu, you go to equations, and here you've got a choice of simultaneous, polynomial, or solver. Hopefully you've had a play around with these before. If we press F1, we can go to the simultaneous equations menu, and we have 3 unknowns we're trying to solve, so x, y, and z. So we want to press F2 for 3 unknowns. Okay, so then up at the top of our window here, we have the format that these equations need to be in for our computer to read them, or calculator to read them. And then we can put the coefficients into these parts of the table down below. Okay, so our first equation is x, y, z, and 6. So the coefficients of x, y, and z in this one is all 1. So we can do a 1, and a 1, and a 1, and it's equal to 6. And then the next row down, we've got the coefficient is 3, then we've got a -1, then a 2, and 18, and then a 2, and a 2, and a -1, and a 0. And those ones were pretty straightforward to put in because our equations were already in the format that's required by the calculator. Now we've put those in, we can tell the calculator to solve it by pressing F1. And we get that x is 3, y is -1, and z is 4. And that's really all there is to it when we're talking about using the graphics calculator. To be able to go on and get an achieved on this standard, all you need to be able to do is form those equations from a worded problem and give your solution in context and talk about what those variables actually mean. Now, there might just be a few little tricks in there. So, for example, we might have these equations not set out in the format that we want them. So let's have a look at what that might look like. So on this example, we've got all of our variables are kind of mixed up all over the place. But to be able to enter them into this table on our calculator, we need to be able to put them into the correct format that it has up here of being x, then y, then z equals the number. So we'll rearrange these equations to put them into that format. So the first one, we can have 2x plus 3y minus 4z equals -24. The next one, we've got the 4x, then a -2y plus 5z is equal to 17. And then the final one, our x term will be -3x minus 4y plus 2z equals 16. Then we hop on over to the calculator and start putting in our coefficients. So there we have, I've entered those coefficients onto the table there, and now we will go ahead and press F1 to solve it, and we get that x is -2, y is 0, and z is 5.